This would have been so cool on a real Game Boy. Sometimes you just want to take a load off, try something new, something free perhaps. Now we are in no shortage of freeware games, let alone some pretty bad ones. But then there are those that take two cool ideas and see what they can do with them. Enter Super Smash Land, a Game Boy remake of the original Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 64. Smash Land was designed and created by Dan Fornes, a man who's worked on a pretty good list of games, including the Xbox Live Arcade versions of Minecraft and Battle Block Theater, the Killer Instinct reboot, as well as some personal projects like Blackfoot and the upcoming Rivals of Aether. Now, this isn't Dan's first game, let alone a Smash one. One of his older games was a Lord of the Rings Smash Bros. Parody, and you could probably tell this by the footage, but it wasn't very good. That's all I'm going to say about that though. So how much has he improved since then? Let's smash right in and find out. This should come as a no duh, but Super Smash Land takes large inspiration from the Smash Bros. Games its name originates from and the Game Boy era of software. To accommodate for the limitations of the system, Fornes had to consider what a game the scale and scope of Smash would have to limit in order to work. Now, Smash Land isn't made using real Game Boy hardware, but rather a version of Game Maker with emulated properties. With all that taken into account, how does this compare to the gameplay of the official Smash Bros? Well, of course the gameplay is going to take a hit when you have to essentially map 2 buttons and a D-pad instead of 4 and a control stick. But for the sake of comfort and giving it a more legitimate feel, I'll be using a GameCube controller with an adapter hooked up to my laptop. Oh, and since I can't really mention this elsewhere, yes, you can play with up to 4 players, but it's very complicated to do, so I just played with 2. I can't really think of a good segue from this part to the next, so... Button layouts. First of all, the Game Boy had no shoulder buttons, so you can say goodbye to rolling and grabbing. There also wasn't an analog stick, so you can't execute smash attacks. So what we're left with are the A, B, and start buttons, as well as the D-pad. Now that the only controls we have are established, how do they feel? While there are no smash attacks, a mix of each character's moveset was given to them, so they feel similar to how you remember them, but their moves are performed differently. Tilts, aerials, and specials are all mapped to the same button, but when they're used is dependent on if you're in the air or on the ground while attacking. Each of the characters can use a move that's like one of their smash attacks, but really it's just their most powerful tilt. The way it all plays is definitely more limited than the official Smash games, but surprisingly there's still a decent amount of content. Arcade mode is Smash Land's version of Classic mode, only much shorter. Beating it with the starting roster is how you unlock more of the game's features. There are no target test or board the platform minigames in Smash Land, but rather, an endless fight mode can be unlocked, and what it is a never-ending battle with the fighting sprite team. Persevering through it with each character doesn't get you any new fighter, but instead, extra stages for multiplayer. Going back to characters though, Smash Land's roster is tiny, like 6 characters tiny, with the main 4, Mario, Kirby, Link, and Pikachu, alongside 2 others, hidden until meeting certain requirements. Sorry if I'm spoiling anything for you, but the 2 characters are Mega Man and Vaporeon. Unlocking Mega Man is easy enough, just complete Classic mode with all 4 of the starting characters. Unlocking Vaporeon on the other hand, well, let's just say that your experience will vary. To get her, you need to get into a versus match and wait around on the Saffron City stage until she shows up. This can take 3 minutes, or an hour or more. The RNG is just really inconsistent. Although, if you're playing as Kirby while in a match, he's super overpowered in this game, so you can just spam your forward air until she's knocked out. At least the reward is worthwhile. Since Vaporeon is made with an original moveset, the attacks she was given were ones that best fit the emulated hardware. Her recovery is also really creative, placing a puddle of water anywhere on the stage and using it to get back on or attack at any time. Let's not forget Old Rock though. Sure, he was in plenty of Smash Bros. Fan games before this, but this is the only one I could say that was the closest to predicting his moveset. He uses almost every Robot Master's ability that he had in Smash 4, just in a few different ways. But others, like the Leaf Shield and Topspin, function almost identically to his official counterpart. Also, this came out 3 years prior. That's just awesome. The distinct moveset and abilities each character has in Smash Land makes the roster diverse despite its size. But where the roster size falls short, the stage selection excels, passing that of Smash 64's 9 stages with 11 of its own. Sure, the starting stages are just some of Smash 64 scaled down, but the other 6 are all original, each with a unique design or mechanic to them. I'm especially fond of the Kirby Air Ride stage. Characters come along riding on warp stars. Be careful or suffer the consequences, but really, all the new ones are cool. Unfortunately, since everything tries to imitate the Game Boy's graphical style, not all of it looks the best. The puke green color of the Game Boy is always going to be front and center no matter what you do in Smashland. I do not care if it's nostalgic, it's ugly. A black and white option or something like that would have made it easier on the eyes, but the color's not going to influence how I feel about the game's visuals as a whole. Many of the backgrounds are well animated and feel fully separated from the foreground. All the characters' movements are similar to their official selves and look clean cut. I'm also a fan of Fornus using the stock icons from Smash 64 as a base for the characters' sprite models. Sure, the animations felt a bit slow to me at times, and not every stage's background was, well, great, but what actually sold me on Smashland was the soundtrack. The main songs you hear in the game were composed by Inverse Phase, a presumably not well-known artist who, when I looked up, has only made a few soundtracks prior to this. Each of the beginning stages sound like an 8-bit version of their Smash 64 equivalent, but are actually quite different due to their beat and tempo. They have this slightly more upbeat, almost hip-hop vibe to them, and it works. The only thing I didn't like on his end was the 3, 2, 1, go sound effect before each battle. The secret stage tunes and short jingles were composed by Flashy Goodness, composer of the Tower of Heaven soundtrack and Rivals of Aether. Flashy's style is a bit more true to the mood of the original tracks. Each sounds almost identical to the original, but with an added beat. Lavender Town is the best example I could give of this, as it sounds the exact same, save for the backtrack. The whole album is by far my favorite thing in Smashland. All the songs and even the victory themes were solid and super fun to listen to. At the end of the day, I know Super Smashland won't please everyone, but it's a freeware game, with a novel concept at that. Now you're probably wondering why I even decided to make this video in the first place. Well, I've been bringing up Rivals of Aether a lot, and for good reason. When comparing the games side by side, Aether has been shaping up to be the Smash game Dan Fornus is able to make utilizing everything that he took out of Smashland. As of right now, there's not too much info on the game that I know of, but I'm excited, and you can count on seeing a video on it from me when it comes out. I don't want to go too far off topic, but essentially Smashland is a smaller, pretty much demo of what Rivals of Aether is going to be like at its core, only simpler. If you're a fan of Smash 64, or just want to play some hidden gem freeware game, check out Super Smashland. You've got nothing to lose.